If you're still broke at 30, it's not because life is unfair, it's because no one ever taught you how money actually works, including you. People don't stay broke because they were stupid. They stay broke because they repeat the same habits that keep them broke and call it normal life. Your 20s reward speed, but your 30s reward strategy. And if you walk into your 30s with 20-year-old thinking, life will punish you brutally. By 30, you've lived long enough to see the consequences of your patterns: the late fees, the impulse buys, the zero savings, the job you swear you're leaving, the friends who drain you, the habits that quietly ruin you. If you're still broke at 30, stop pretending you don't know where the leaks are, and you've known for years. What you need now isn't more money, it's more honesty. There are only three reasons adults stay broke: they spend to escape their life instead of improving it, they buy comfort today and rent anxiety tomorrow, and they refuse to track anything because they don't want to face reality. The moment you get brutally honest, money becomes simple because your future is built on your fixed costs, not your income. Most people suffocate themselves with lifestyle creep: rent that's too high, cars they can't afford, subscriptions they don't use. Cut your expenses by 30 and everything opens up. Raise your salary by 30 and nothing changes if your habits stay the same. Your 30s are the decade of consequences, not punishment, just consequences. Good habits compound and bad habits explode. Your financial life is not a mystery. It's math wearing a mask. Your money is simply a mirror reflecting your behavior back at you, and the reflection never lies. You don't need brilliance to stop being broke. You need consistency. Read more than you scroll, work more than you complain, invest more than you impress, say no more than you say yes. Wealth doesn't come from a big break. It comes from a dozen boring decisions repeated without applause. And if you're behind at 30, good pressure is a privilege. It means you're awake now. Being broke at 30 isn't a failure. Staying broke at 35 is, because those 5 years are enough to rewrite your entire life. If you stop lying to yourself and finally start doing the work most people will spend their whole lives avoiding. If you're still broke at 30, let me teach you something that can change every decade that comes after this one, because your 30s are the last years where you can make mistakes. Cheaply after that, life starts charging interest. People think time is infinite until time starts responding, and nothing responds faster than money. Your 20s are for discovering who you are, but your 30s are for deciding who you refuse to be. This is the decade where you stop negotiating with your weaknesses, where you stop pretending every distraction is deserved, where you stop worshiping comfort like a religion. Comfort is the enemy of progress. It is the addiction that keeps millions broke forever. Comfort tells you, you worked hard, you earned this, but discipline tells you, you worked hard, don't erase it. Your 20-year-old self seeks entertainment. Your 30-year-old self must seek leverage. And if you don't to understand leverage by now, you will spend the next 40 years paying for that ignorance. Skills pay more than time, because if you still make money by trading hours, you are one unlucky month away from collapse. A skill scales, separates you, and makes you untouchable when the world shifts. Your 30s must be the decade where you stop collecting hobbies and start collecting weapons. Learn to write, learn to sell, learn to lead, learn to analyze, learn to adapt. The people who dominate their 30s aren't the smartest. They were the ones who mastered one valuable skill deeply. And your network becomes your net worth, because your friends at 30 shape your financial future more than your paycheck. If everyone around you spends money they don't have, you will too. Environment beats discipline every time. Choose people who make money quietly, who talk about ideas, who discuss building rather than buying, and understand that your habits now determine your freedom later. Because by 30, your habits are no longer temporary, your habits are architecture. Every morning habit is a vote for who you will become. Every purchase is a vote. Every wasted hour is a vote. One day you will wake up living inside the house you built or the ruin you ignored. Most people stay broke at 30 not because they can change, but because changing requires killing the identity they've been protecting for years. The identity that says, I am doing my best, or I deserve to treat myself, or I am unlucky, or I'll figure it out eventually. Eventually is the graveyard of potential. You don't need a miracle. You need a strategy. And the first strategy is subtraction, subtract debt, subtract subscriptions, subtract toxic friends, subtract impulsive spending, subtract emotional buying, subtract comparison. Every subtraction creates space, and space creates clarity. Your 30s should not be about adding more. They should be about needing less. Strategy 2 is to automate discipline, because if you rely on willpower, you all lose. You are too stressed, too busy, and too distracted for manual discipline. Automate savings, automate investing, automate debt payments, automate your protection. Make discipline something that happens without your permission. Strategy 3 is to build a money buffer. Because if you don't have at least 3 to 6 months of expenses saved, you don't have peace, you have fragile peace, and fragile peace breaks easily. A buffer gives you options, and options are everything. Strategy 4 is to destroy comparison, because comparison steals more from 30-year-olds than inflation ever will. Stop comparing your real life to someone else else's highlight reel. Stop comparing your year 5 to their year 15. Stop comparing your starting point to their breakthrough. The only person you need to beat is the version of you who wasted yesterday. Strategy 5 is to learn the math of your future, because money isn't emotional, it obeys commands. If you are broke at 30, your money is following your orders. Stop telling it to entertain you and start telling it to work for you. A single year of discipline can change a decade, and a decade of discipline can change a legacy. Your 30s aren't late, they re-leverage. A 30-year-old who wakes up now is more powerful than a 20-year-old who sleeps through their potential, because at 30, you know yourself. You know your mistakes, your patterns, your distractions, your temptations. Awareness is your superpower. Now use it. Your habits are compounding, even when your bank account isn't. Scrolling is compounding, complaining is compounding, procrastinating is compounding, impulse buying is compounding. You are always compounding something. You must choose the right thing. Being broke at 30 isn't. The problem staying broke is a choice. Staying broke at 35 becomes a consequence. Staying broke at 40 becomes a lifestyle. Staying broke at 50 becomes a prison. Your 30s are your escape window. Don't waste them. You don't need a new job or a miracle or luck. You need a turning point, and this can be it. Build discipline, build skills, build leverage, build a life you can afford mentally and financially. If you still broke at 30, good, because now you finally have a reason to become unstoppable.